after year after year, you wouldn't know this, rules and regulations on top of rules and regulations. I think you can make the system safer and let banks what they're supposed to do, make more loans, create more liquidity, have more intervention in the markets by the people who should do it, and the Fed put themselves in a position where you have any kerfuffle, they have to do something. I think that's a huge mistake. So I think he's right about relooking at that, and I think he's right about reducing the size of their balance sheet. You know, we had too much QE, and we still don't fully know the effect of $10 trillion of borrowing and $8 trillion of QE. And I'm not sure that those things play out over the, a year or 12 months, or even a 5-year period. To reduce the size of the balance sheet, he's got to change some of these requirements. My view, when we talk about regulations, is we should talk about better. I think you can let banks lend more, create more liquidity, and make them safer. I'd be much tougher in certain rules, and I'd be much easier in other ones. But the way it works out there is every rule is important, as if it's the only rule that's going to save a bank from failing. And so I think he'll do a good job. Now, I don't think it's in the market what he can do, because remember, he's one person, he's walking in a room probably right now, there are 12 people at the table. They're smart people, they're mostly economists, and they're going to say, Kevin, we'd like to hear your ideas, and let's think about it, let's review these things. So it's going to take study, they're going to take time. So there's almost no chance he can actually change anything in 6 months. And he needs the time. So in the meantime, the environment change that he's entering into. We have more inflation, so we'll see. And he's smart, he's got to figure out how he wants to navigate the environment and the new Fed governors.
How sticky do you think that inflation is? How much does it actually truly put something like rate hikes on the table?
So when the Fed says data, you always got to think, of course they're data dependent. And in some ways they're a fast follower. When inflation went up, they raised rates. Sometimes they look at what they think future data might be, and they can act anticipatory. Very hard to do. But they have done that. It's like if the government's going to spend another $1 trillion, they can act in anticipation of that they think it's going to be another $1 trillion, something like that. So I think there are inflationary forces out there are more than other people think. And I'm not saying it's going to go dramatically up. I don't know. It is ticking up. You can put Iran in there, and food, healthcare is going up. For us, it's going up 10% a year. And we think it's going to happen this year and next year, by the way. But it's, the remilitarization of the world is kind of inflationary. AI spending in the short run is inflationary. Restructuring of trade fundamentally has an inflationary component. Restriction of immigration has an inflationary component. $2 trillion of spending. The economists tell me, well, no, it's $2 trillion last year, it's $2 trillion this year, it's not inflationary. I don't agree with that. I think that there's a cumulative effect of spending all this money, which the die may have been cast, that will cause future inflation in a way we do not understand.